Hey guys, it's Esha, and today I'm going to be talking about the different places that I visited on exchange and my reasons for going there and reasons why I liked and disliked them. While I attended IE University in Madrid, Spain for my exchange, I realized I had a lot of free time and thus decided to travel around as much as possible. So here are my top 7 places to visit in Europe as an exchange student, and to start off is Madrid, Spain. The city sits smack bam in the center of Spain and has got everything you want in a city. A rich culture, history, nightlife, food, football, and so much more. I met some of the most amazing people in Madrid too, and we never felt bored. There was always something to do, whether it was a new cafe to eat at or a park to explore. Madrid is also really accessible via public transport, which is really cheap as well. Every month you pay 10 euros or 80 Hong Kong dollars and access the buses and metro an unlimited amount. For lovers of clubbing and nightlife, there was a lot of that too. Clubs were much more vast and open than clubs in Hong Kong, and also just had better music in general. Living expenses were also quite reasonable, and my apartment was only 450 euros a month per person for a decently sized room, kitchen, 2 bathrooms, balcony, and a living area. Groceries were also cheap and fresh, and I actually spent a lot less there on food and lifestyle than I would here in Hong Kong. University life at IE was also a pleasure to experience. The work-life balance was emphasized, and the professors never gave too much work and instead focused on hands-on learning. Class sizes ranged from 15 to 30 people and were all participation focused. I was able to travel a lot due to my flexible schedule when picking classes. I made sure to not have any classes on Fridays and Mondays to utilize the weekend to travel, and cheap flights that left Thursday nights. Some classes were also still offered in an online format, so that further helped me to travel whenever I wanted. It was a breath of fresh air to be able to simultaneously learn and experience life as a young traveler. I'll never forget the experiences I had in Madrid, and I think I'll be missing this city for the rest of my life. Second on my list is the Costa Brava, a coastal region in the northeast of Spain. If you're ever in Barcelona, I recommend catching a bus that takes around 2 to 5 hours to visit this area. Similar to cities in the south of France or the coast of Italy, these small towns offer historic monuments, gorgeous views, and undisturbed blue water. My friend from high school, a local Spaniard, took me around to eat good food and enjoy the beautiful scenery. On our trip, we visited 2 towns, Tossa de Mar and San Felix de Guasols. While these areas house more local Spanish than anything, they are welcoming to tourists regardless. Going in the summer months will be busy, but not as busy as other popular tourist areas in Spain, so you could say this is somewhat of a local hideout. A pro tip is to find a cala, or a cove, which are small inlets along the beach where water is cool and blue and often empty of people. Here you can jump off high cliffs or just lounge in the peaceful water. Next we have Lisbon, Portugal, one of the most beautiful cities I've ever visited on my time in exchange. The city is vibrant, covered in beautiful brick tiles, and there's so much to explore, from the scenic tram rides, 25th April Suspension Bridge, the Sintra Castle, Belém Tower, and more. Something I also didn't realize about Lisbon was how good the food was. A quality meal was less than 15 euros and was so tasty. Just to note though, traveling in big groups is hard. This trip we had a total of 8 people all together, and gosh, what a hassle. We managed to do okay by calling 2 Ubers, finding restaurants to cater to all of us, and heeding to everyone's preferences was quite tough. The next destination is Rome, Italy, a city filled to the brim with culture. If you're a lover of history and art like I am, you will love Rome. There's so many famous Renaissance paintings and sculptures from some of the world's most renowned artists like Michelangelo, Da Vinci, and more. Though, Rome goers beware. Buy your tickets to museums and attractions at least 2 weeks in advance. They sell out super quickly, and you won't find any a week before or even days before. My friend and I were only able to go into the Vatican City and Sistine Chapel, but had trouble getting tickets for everything else because we were so last minute. Next on my list is the UK and surrounding areas. I visited 3 cities, London, Dublin, and Glasgow. These cities were bustling and had a lot to do in all of them. Especially in London, you have everything from museums to tours to nightlife and more. I'd recommend the Tate Museum in London or seeing a show in the West End. I went to see Les Miserables. Dublin and Scotland also are great cities for 1 to 2 day trips, and I spent that amount of time in each. In Dublin, you have to go to a local pub and catch a live music show. It's truly so much fun. The next place on my list is Tenerife or Tenerife in the Canary Islands. When I say this place had the best views I've ever seen in my life, I mean it. Tenerife is split into a north and south area, both having great views. However, I would say that the south was where we saw the most picturesque landscapes, best hikes, and best drives. I would recommend renting a car if you ever visit. My exchange friends had driver's licenses, so we were able to drive around instead of taking public transport. Especially up in the mountains, the roads are quite narrow, so there's not even buses that go all the way up. Tenerife is also warm year-round, so you won't have a problem going in the summer months or the winter months. I want to finish off by saying traveling alone or in a new country or area can be very scary, especially when you haven't done it before. I had only ever traveled with my parents in the past, but finding that sense of independence on exchange helped me overcome that fear. I also learned to be alone and enjoy my own company. You're not with your parents or any friends you know anymore. You're on your own. And that's the best part. I will leave you with one piece of advice that pushed me to try new experience and travel to new countries. 20 years in the future, you won't regret the things you did. You will regret not doing the things when you had the chance. So take those chances. Experience life on exchange as much as possible. Make those friends, book those tickets, and live your life.